But everybody get set up here. We're going to introduce to you the standard form for a circle. So let me give myself this, okay? And the part that we need to know is this. Standard form of a circle is going to be, well, yikes. It's going to be x minus h, quantity squared, plus y minus k, quantity squared, equals r squared. Now that's a lot. That's a whole lot of stuff going on there. So let me explain what all these little pieces mean, okay? Every single circle has exactly how many centers? It has one center, right? And that center is conveniently located for you at the point h, comma, k. So we're going to write that down, okay? The center of any circle in this form is located at the point h, comma, k. And there's only one of them. And do you notice something that changes from in the equation to where the center is? Anybody notice anything? Yeah, in the equation I have x minus h. But the center for the x part is, notice it's a positive h. And what about the k? I have y minus k. The center happens to be positive, right? So the moral of the story is our signs change. So if my center was like x plus 3, then the center, in the equation, the center would be located at negative 3. And we're going to get into that in just a little bit. So let me keep introducing you to all the parts, okay? Every single radius has one center, every single circle has one center, and the radius always stays constant. So this part on the end, this is the radius part. So the r stands for the radius. The x and the y represent all of the points around the circle that are on the coordinate plane. Okay, so we have an x minus h in parentheses squared plus a y minus k in parentheses squared equals r squared. Here it is. I do it every time. Yeah, it's so strange.
Well, if you put keep the current one, it won't have to. That's what he pressed.
Every time, man. Yeah. All right, we're gonna investigate here. Let me set the scene for you. All right. This part you just watch. All right. What will happen? What do you think will happen if I increase the radius from 1 to 2? The radius, is my circle going to get bigger or smaller? Bigger. Is it going to stay where? Is the center going to move at all? No, it's not. So let's see here. I'm going to increase. Whoa! Check it out. My radius just got bigger, but my center stayed where it was, huh? So I'll move that back. Move that back to 1. Okay. Now, what happens if I move the radius to a 0? What will I get? Let's see here. Oh, where'd it go? It's gone. It's not there. What happens if I make my radius a negative 1? Good question. That's a very good question. What happens if I make it a negative 1? Why will it go back to being a circle? Why is it still 1? There's a look in the equation. The answer is in the equation. You guys are all hitting it. Look at the equation. What's the r? Oh, because it's square. There you go. So if I move this back to a 1, look at, I have the same thing as if I had a 1 because it's squared, right? So if I move this back to a negative 2, notice it still gives me what's going on there, right? Okay, very, very cool. I'm going to move this back to a 1 so we have the basic circle here, okay? Now, I'm going to start with the h's. What's the h going to do if I move it to the right? If I increase my h value, the circle moves, right? Look at that. But which way is it moving? It's only moving left and right, So that has to do with the x-axis. Very good. Okay, let's put it back to the center here. What if I increase the k? What's that going to do? That's going to give my y-axis, right? So the k value goes up and down for the center. Notice the center is moving, but the x-axis moves it left and right. So I can tell exactly where the circle to be. I can move it left. I can move it down, I can move it left, I can move it right, I can move it up, I can do whatever. I can change how big that radius I want it to be. Pretty cool. Okay, so the question is, why don't they make the x and the y the h and the k? Because x and y represent all of the points around the circle, the variables, and the center is always staying the same. the one spot that the center is. That's why the center has to be fixed. Okay? Very good. All right, let's move on here. Box number 3. Let's write this part down, please. I want us to write an equation of a circle with a center, -3, 5. What we're going to write down is what? What's the first thing that we're going to write down? The standard form. Yeah, you got it. We're going to write down our standard form, okay? So we're going to write down standard form. Yeah, and it says, what is it? What is it? X minus h squared equals. Good, great. Where is the center? So the h represents the -3, and the k represents the 5. So I plug that into my standard form of my equation, okay? So I'm going to have this. I'm going to have x minus -3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals, what is my radius? 4, and I'm going to square that. All I have to do now is clean up a few things, right? I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to clean this up, right? Okay, so look at the highlighted part for the x minus the -3. What does that become? Yeah, exactly. You guys got it, right? That becomes x plus 3 quantity squared plus y minus 5 quantity squared equals, on the other side, how much is 4 squared? 16, all right? So this is what we've ended up with, correct? All right, now I want you to graph the circle of the equation that we just wrote down on your graph paper using your compass, okay? So what you need to do is you need to, first of all, make yourself a grid. Okay, there's my grid. Yeah, make yourself a grid. I know. You should. I agree. You should. Okay, make the grid. The center on the page. Once you have your center, what do you do then? Yeah, what's the radius? Yeah, so from the center, okay, count over either up, down, left, or right. Just go 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put another dot there. Create your compass. Put your compass on the center. Expand it out to 4 units and draw the circle. All right. So when you're all said and done, if you did it correctly, your circle should look something like mine. Okay? Okay, here's your last part of the day. Look at this. Okay? So, what do you need to find? You need to find where the center is. Find the radius, plug it into the standard. All right. Allie, what's the equation for this circle? No, the equation. The equation. Uh-huh. So the 4 is negative and the 7 is positive. Is that true? Okay, here's the answer down below. Let's see here. X minus 4 all squared plus y plus 7 squared equals 25. Beautiful work. Very nicely done, all right? Okay, I want you to grab your whiteboards, your whiteboard pens, and your erasers. Ready, set, go.